Hey. So I'm back, and that's my second tutorial for Move AI. Today, I'll be showing you why I made those choices, why I chose those clips that I was talking about in my previous tutorial or my first tutorial, and what I did to get better results. The first thing that I did was to switch from their first generation or from their first model, from their version 1 to their version 2. Let me show you. That was the version released almost 2 months ago, and that was the second reason I was excited to try this now, was to test that new generation model. Okay, so like I said, three versions of this same clip. Okay, this one that we've seen in the previous tutorial was generated using the first generation model. This one, though, was generated using the second generation model. Let's watch it. Let's watch the 3D version. Let me zoom in. And it's definitely way better. Look at the feet. And let's watch it one more time. Because there's something here that I wanted to verify. Okay? You notice at some point this character gets pulled towards camera. That is to compensate for that zoom you've seen in the actual clip. I'll talk about that for later, but for now, this resulting motion using version 2 of Move 1, to me, that is way better. And again, if I get this level of motion within a few minutes, to me, I'm good. Now let's go back to the second motion we have here. In my previous tutorial, I showed you the first, like this, processed using version 1 of Move 1. Let's see how does that look using version 2. Let's go to this 3D version. I know that it can be challenging for you to see the difference now, okay? But I'll show you like just one body part where I keep focusing on to see the difference, okay? Let's zoom in and focus on those feet, okay? Focus on the feet here. Let's watch them. Like that. And what I noticed, those are way more stable using the version 2 of the model. Take a look at them, because we're going to go back and watch from the, like using the version 1. Look at those feet, how stable they are. Can you see that? Of course, there are small parts that need to be cleaned up, but let's go back to Gen 1, the first generation of Move 1, and let's watch those feet again. Okay. See what's happening here? All those changes on the feet, these are not from the, see what's happening here with the feet? Can you see those? Can you see that? Let's zoom in even more. So you can see that even better. See those big, what's happening here? Look at this one. Those orientations of the foot. See? again from here. So that is clear to me. Clear improvement, even though for the second generation, there is always room for improvement, for polishing. But as I said, if I'm going to the second generation, and if I play that, if I'm using this for blocking my motion for my first pass, or for a previs, I'm okay with that. Yeah. Let's take a look at the other clip that I have. So we've seen this one, like the second generation of this one, and we've seen this one too. Now let's take a look at this clip. All right. Before we watch this, let me show you the old, which is first generation. That is, if you haven't watched my first tutorial, let's watch this together. And notice how far, or that amount of change is happening in the root here. Those sudden changes, look at the root, those sudden shifts in space. Again, we're using here first generation, okay? Look at what's happening here. Those huge changes in the root. Okay, now let's go back. That is clear. I think enough of that. That is clear. If we go back now to our second generation, that one recently released, let's take a look. What's that? Let's wait for that to finish. There are still sudden changes. There are still those shifts in space, but compared to the first model, it is definitely better. Is that the best you can get for Move 1? No. What else can you do? I'll show you next. But I just wanted to show you the difference between first and second generation. Okay? So, if you notice, there are two or like three versions of this clip that I uploaded here. 3 takes. That's what I was experimenting with. Because I noticed that whether for the first or the second generation, the clip I was using and that I downloaded from YouTube was in a really small resolution. Okay? It was, I think, 640 by 360, something like that. It was definitely not even 720. So I decided, let me try and extract a full HD version of that video and see, would providing Move 1 with higher quality video, meaning more data, more details, would that affect the resulting motion? I'll let you judge that yourself. So here that was, like I mentioned, that was using the second generation, and this was first generation, and this one here that I'm pointing at, this was using the second generation, but with a much higher quality video. Let's watch this motion now. Let's turn around. Okay. In some areas, it does affect the resulting motion. It becomes more stable, more detailed, and I can show you that. I can zoom in and show you what I noticed. But I would like you to try that yourselves, and I'm sure you'll be able to see a difference. Let me show you this on another clip, like the result of uploading a much higher quality video, okay? And that is here. So yesterday, I started by uploading this clip using second generation model, and then I noticed that if I uploaded this one using a um, much higher resolution video, you get to see this. Let's go to 3D. You notice that sudden change in quality and stability right away, right? Remember what was happening with this character? All those sudden shifts in space? If you don't remember that, let me show you the same clip using the video in a much lower resolution. Okay? So those two, this one using the second generation, lower resolution, this the highest resolution I was able to get. Next, what I would do to really zoom in on those details. I would download both FBX files, put them um, next to each other in Maya, and truly zoom in. But even without doing that, I can see the difference. Look at the hips. Notice those moments of sudden changes, of getting close into camera, those sudden changes in space. And again, we're still using Gen 2, the latest version of Move 1, but with a much lower resolution video. See? If we go here, see those can you see all those changes? Okay. Go back. And bear with me. Because to me, this one clip is enough. Enough to make a decision. Should I continue using Move 1 or not? Because with this motion, if it can get me those results using one video, I can refine those sudden changes in the route, and I can get something way better than what I see here in a small amount of time, actually. But that's not what I'm going to show you today. Let's just rotate our camera so you can see it from a similar perspective. See how stable that is compared to the first version? The version with the lower resolution video? Now all this is based on my experimentation. This was not something that was described in the best practices page. This is something that I decided to go for to test myself. Because what I understand is the more data you provide to a model like this, the more accurate it will become, or the more accurate it will provide you with data. And remember, again, we're still using pre-recorded video. We're not using my actual camera. We're not using a number of cameras, and of course, there are no suits, there are no markers here. Okay? Back. So that's what I wanted to show you today for this second tutorial, is that summary. If you're using Move One, I would recommend go for the highest resolution video possible. Use second generation and try to keep that camera still. Okay? Why am I saying that? And that was the last part that I wanted to show you today. As you can see here, I have three versions. This one that I just that I uploaded earlier was using Gen 2 second generation model, low resolution video. Okay, this one using the second generation high res video. Okay, and this first generation. Okay, first generation again high res. So what I wanted to show you here is if you go to this version, the high res second generation, and we play it in 3D, let's just look at it from this perspective, back view. Look what's happening here with the arms, okay? See that part where this character seems to be almost like taking a few steps up, like getting translated up? That is during that time where the camera is going for that zoom. Remember this part of the video here? See what's happening? Camera here is still, and then we have that zoom. Now if we go back, to that first version that I uploaded, the first part of it looks really good, really solid, before that zoom. Okay, let's see this part all the way to here, before that zoom. If you go to 3D and watch this motion, and let me again do that. See that shift in space? That shift in space, I assume, and that's something I'll verify by reaching out to the amazing support team behind MovieEye. I'll ask them this question, and if they verify or if they confirm what I noticed here, that this is only happening during that zoom section of the video, then maybe if I was able to stabilize that video or any other similar videos like that, I would get better results, because that starting part of the video, like the first half of it, was okay. Again, when I say okay, okay for something captured from a low res video, and that's one source of motion. Okay, yeah. So that's it for today. I wanted to show you how, or a few guidelines from what I found so far on how to get the best of Move One pre-recorded video workflow. Basically, get the highest resolution you can. Try to find a video with a static camera for now, and of course use the second generation model. Okay, what's coming next? Next, I'll be using Move One with my own camera, like I mentioned before, testing this great tool using my own video, my own performance, to see what am I going to get with a single camera. Again, I'll be following the guidelines here. Okay, I'll try to follow them like 90% of the time. I'll try to push it a little bit, but I'll stick to those guidelines for the most part, just to see like the default results I'm going to get. So far, what I was able to get from Move One is exciting. I'm excited to put more time into this, to experiment more, to find out how to improve this more, like what I mentioned about the Zoom. I'll get out to the, or I'll reach out to the uh, support team behind Move One, and I'll get back to you with updates regarding that small detail that I mentioned. Okay? For now, time for a break, time for a walk, and time for you to start playing with Move One if you haven't already. Show me what you come up with and have fun.